and welcome back to Words with Wayman. I'm your host, as always, Matt Wayman. Support us on the internet at Words with Wayman on Facebook, Words with Wayman on Twitter. Coming back, part 2, a little bit less high than part 1. Welcome to the podcast, local literary and performance artist, Mr. Jaryd Smart. Thanks for coming back.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
And I had to trap you. He tried to run. I got him. I tied him up, and he is currently tied up. So
it's weird to do this without any hands.
Yeah, I set the mic stand up, and you're doing a terrific job. We were talking kind of like creating, I guess like when we left off on the last episode, we kind of had gotten to the point where you just finished up college and you moved up to Denver.
Oh, yeah. Man, these are some riveting tales.
Right? People need to know how the creatives are born, how these processes happen.
Someone must document this.
If nobody else does.
Matt Wayman did it. You're a hero. You're a folk legend.
I think podcasting is one of the most masturbatory things you can do, so I'm just like to please myself, I think, is all this is really about. If you think of it in essence, just talking into a microphone and thinking you're good enough for other people to actually want to listen to. Podcast, everybody.
Exactly how I feel.
If you are delusional, you should start 1 to 7 podcasts. And you'll be good. It's like the freest form of therapy, and you get to hold a microphone.
On my show and the podcast, you gave me hell for bashing on podcasts.
Oh yeah, no, totally. And now you're on the podcast. For people that don't know, he runs a show at the Crossroad Theater called Bucket, and it's you do a bunch of different acts. Kind of, how did you develop that show? Which I had a chance to do it last time, and thank you for having me on. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a really cool thing to have. Bucket was basically like, I had so many different ideas I wanted to try for shows and like shows I wanted to create, different concepts. And instead of doing that and limiting myself, because I started to realize that all my friends also had concepts they want to try and things they want to do, and people that I were meeting, like, lots of musicians in town who love to play out. And open mics are like kind of a weird but easy access. And then other than that, you have to create a show or get on a bill. So instead of me trying to just like create a show based around a concept I wanted, and like doing some sort of like one man do everything. Yeah, definitely. Because I do everything, but
yeah, for people that don't know, the format of the show, it is a variety show basically that he hosts and brings up and talks to a bunch of different acts, and then they perform, and then anywhere from musicians. We did a live podcast on it. I like that it's a forum for pretty much anybody to do what they want, but it still falls under this banner, which is Bucket.
Yeah, the idea is to just be doing something new all the time. So I'm not trying to have people just like coming back doing the same song, same performance, using it, like the challenge is to do something fresh, to try something that maybe you've always wanted to try or you hadn't even thought of trying until now. Like, just step it up.
Yeah, definitely.
We use that to inspire the audience. I think it was really cool having you come on and do like a live podcast last time, because it was funny and
it was fun,
and it was different. We'd never done it, so it was new for Bucket. It was new for you. Everyone
I feel like it works just the same as like if you're having an interesting enough conversation that is funny, it can be in front of people, you know, and it definitely carries the same way a performance does, because you're elevating the level that you would normally talk to somebody, just like Adrian's super joke heavy too, so he's just cracking jokes the whole time.
Yeah, well,
but it works
he's
well.
Also seasoned, and he has a lot of experience, and so you're hearing about like how he got to where he's at.
Started comedy at 14, and just like this crazy story.
yeah. It was really cool to watch that get like dug into on stage, and that was a new experience for Bucket.
Yeah, it also challenges the audience too a little bit, which I think like a lot of audiences, that you're coming to a show like that kind of to be challenged and to see all this different stuff. But
they're like, what are we gonna? Okay, yeah, well, and that's it. It also tries to cater to. That was the other idea behind it, which was Bucket came about after the first show I ever did in Denver, which is called The Loneliest, and that was like the idea behind that was disconnection, but the thematic idea as far as presentation is what I tried to carry over.
How'd you come up with that name for the show?
The Loneliest?
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know. We were just talking about misconnections ads. And so it was people reading Misconnections ads, but it was like rapid fire.
Oh, that's fun.
And so that's when I say like the presentation style, I tried to carry that over to Bucket, where like I'll have a performer do 3 songs, but they won't do them back to back. Because with the internet, we're all distracted. We all like need things fast.
I love how it's
now.
split up, and like you want to see that person again, and it creates kind of like this good cycle for the show.
Right, and it's never stuck. It never it gives the performers a cool chance to like come up and do a thing, and then watch somebody else and like think about what they're gonna do next, and like, do I want to change it now?
It's fun because like not in like a bad sense, but it's like, hey, if you don't like this, just wait a minute, there'll be something else.
Yeah.
Like in this ADD age that we live in, you know.
That's where everybody lives at right now, and so like theater and live performance, I feel like are, I don't know, they're just not. I don't even go out to see a lot of theater.
I don't either. I should go to more.
I think
it'd make me a better writer for sure.
Yeah, definitely, and I think theater is really important. But you know, what I want to see people doing is not always what ends up happening. You know, when I go places,
Just critiquing them as they're going about.
Yeah, I want to see people innovating. I want to see people doing plays that I've never heard of, plays that aren't done, and like new work. You know,
Then come to Denver, Colorado.
Some
experimental theater.
So instead, I started creating that, and now I spend all my Friday nights like running a theater instead of getting to go see anyone's shows.
But I mean, I am always from the thing. It's, you know, like if you want to learn how to do film, don't just go work for somebody's film set for free. It's like go shoot a bunch of films. It's almost like if you, and I think Denver's really cool for that. If you want to do something like that, you kind of just can go and make it happen.
Absolutely.
If like you want to be an artist, call yourself an artist, but also go and create a bunch of content. For other people to see.
Do things.
Well, regardless of what it is. I mean, I'll take a bunch of shitty art over somebody talking about how they do art, but I've never seen a painting of any day. You know, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. I'd rather look at your stuff than hear you talk about your stuff. That's for sure.
So let's talk about you.
That's fair.
When is Bucket for people out there that want to come check it out?
It's
tonight, actually, but I mean, people are going to hear this until a little bit later.
Bucket, the next one. Golly.
Golly, Miss Molly.
That one, it's going to be the last Thursday in June.
Cool. Sweet spot.
8 p.m.
Nice. Melissa will be out before that, so if people in Denver want to check it out, or people throughout the country want to fly in and check it out.
I wish I could tell you the date right now, but I don't even.
We'll figure it out. They can find it on the interwebs.
Yeah, I'm challenging you once again.
If you want to see the show, you got to make it happen. So is that you run the Bucket show? Do you run any other shows currently, or is it more just like...
No, everything else, so I just work here, you know, for everything else, basically. And then Bucket's the one that I created that I do every month. And then I also, in town, but not here, I run an open mic at Carbon, Carbon Beverage Cafe, which has this little, like, donut shop attached to it, too.
Sweet.
It's called Habit. And
that's cool.
It's kind of like a dispensary visual theme, but it's just dank donuts. And
that's cool.
Carbon's got all sorts.
Where's that at?
It's like 16th and Platt.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I think I've seen an invite for that on the internet.
Yeah, I probably sent you one or two. I mean, we get people telling jokes.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I love telling jokes where people don't necessarily think to see jokes and stuff, because you can just be really just like talk about what's happening.
I love it. Well, and so I'm like, I play music up there. Or I'll do hip hop up there, and then my buddy will tell jokes, and I'll play guitar underneath it.
Cool.
Sometimes, like, just.
So it's another format for just like putting content out there, kind of.
Yeah, and that one's cool. It's fun. They reached out to me a while back through someone I know who started working there, and like.
What's your writing process like?
Writing.
For the music, for the.
I don't know. I guess that varies a lot. I would say the most popular writing process I have is like doing anything in my life and just like being hit, you know.
That just comes to you, and then you're like, I have to get a pad of paper.
Yeah. knowing pen and paper, or sometimes it's the
phone.
laptop. Like sometimes you put it on your phone. If you gotta like I'll voice record a thing if I need to be able to hear it versus
if it's like something more musical.
Yeah, actually, and I've been trying it with jokes too.
Cool.
Just because I think it was Chris Rock who was saying that like he really likes to hear it back.
Nice.
Because he would lose it on paper.
I'm sure, yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I don't know.
I've always, I do paper, and then I try to punch it up on paper, but everybody writes differently. But I think as long as you're creating content, I think, you should try stand-up and see if you like it. I feel like it's one of those things that you'd know right away if you like it or you don't, especially as being a creative.
I feel like it's super hard. I feel like stand-up is super hard, and that's kind of my whole, like, first
It just takes us a long time.
I feel like it's
being terrible at it to get good at it.
It's just the most awkward.
Or I don't know.
When you're bad is what I feel like. Because if you're playing music and like your guitar's out of tune or you're singing off key or whatever, it's like you can at least just be in your own space. And you still have the song and like you're clinging to it. But when you're on stage and like I don't know,
eating shit.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Excuse my language out there when you're just eating a big old pile of poop up there on the stage. It's the worst because nobody's there. But I was also like I liked solo sports, so it's like I don't like to rely on anybody sometimes too. So it's like improv. If somebody else is blowing it, you're like, now I'm brought down with that person.
That's true, and that's like
and stand up. You got nothing to hide behind.
Yeah, and like hosting events, which I really enjoy. So
hosting's super fun.
Me think I might enjoy doing stand up.
It's super similar. I mean, you do it if you don't even think about it. I mean, when you're doing an opening or a monologue or like just getting a show going, you're going for laughs.
Yeah,
you're
going for laughs. You're
that's
going
stand up.
For like relevant room humor.
You're standing up and you're telling jokes. So, I mean, I guess technically you've already done it.
Oh, well, that makes
but you've just created. You know what I mean? Like you do it when you open shows up.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
And that's all it is.
Well,
it's just.
I feel like I just got my courage back.
Right. I mean, it's the same thing, really.
Well, you're the wizard.
Except now you just have to do it in front of 50 other delusional comics and not just like the people you invited to your show.
Has anyone ever called you the wizard?
I did. I get that a lot. A lot of people come up to me on the streets
Matt,
and like,
the Wizard Wayman.
"Are you a wizard?" It's usually because I wear wizard costumes, but
okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah, that would make more sense.
I got really into that movie, Big, with Tom Hanks, and I kind of just went method for a couple of years.
You just wanted to be.
I wanted to be in a bot. I wanted to be the machine that made people big. Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's a big part of my life for a while.
Yeah,
I rewrote. I wrote 5 additional sequels to Big. I've got all the screenplays at my house, so all the way up to 6.
I wanted to be the guy who looks at him oddly when he eats the baby corn.
Right.
Just the head shake.
Yeah, that was a studio executive that got fired for making that movie, probably. So the inspiration just strikes you. What do you see? Kind of like I ask this question to everybody that comes on the podcast. Best case scenario, 5 years. What does your life look like?
Ooh, best case scenario 5 years from now. I would say I've still got all my limbs functioning.
Nice.
You know?
So don't mess with lawnmowers.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully all my fingers as well, digits and toes. Those are pretty important.
Again, lawnmowers. Don't mess
I would have a roof over my head.
Roofs are cool, man.
Yeah,
I'm into them.
Food's
fun,
and hopefully like doing a lot of different things to help impact people with art and like make myself feel better.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. If you could, I mean, give anybody advice that's like starting out or like wants to do something creative or just like can't get outside of their head, like what would you tell people? I guess just what advice would you have for people trying to get into the creative arts so that they can become literary and performance artists?
Oh, I would say no matter what type of art that you do, just go for it.
Yeah.
Like, fucking go for it. Pardon my language.
Yeah.
But, like, that's, being told that you have to pick one, or even, like, there's a really cool video by this poet, Sully Breaks, where he talks about part-time hustlers and the people who are, like, always putting off the thing they want to do. and you can't like sell it out. You can't be like, oh well, let me wait and like stack up money. I'm gonna fund my dream later. Like, just do that shit, or you won't sleep, and you'll know. You know, you'll know forever that there was something inside of you wanted to do.
And then your life will bog you down till you never get the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, it'll suck. And you might eventually just like, bleh, like some really cool thing when you're like 40, but don't wait that long. Just go for that shit.
There's like a Twain quote that's like the hardest part of getting ahead is getting started. I think. I might have butchered it,
do everything. I think that's the other thing. Like, no matter what you want to do, like, figure out what it's all like. Like, if you want to, like, I do music, but, you know, I've learned what it's like to work for a band, to work with a band, to be in a band.
Yeah.
I'm running a venue where bands come through. You know, I've been tech guys. So, like, you learn all the stuff. As an actor, I know how to build sets and, like, do the things. So just do everything. Learn as much as you can. Try everything. And... yeah, that's
some rad advice. Cool. Awesome. But right before we get out of here, give where everybody can find you on the interwebs.
The interwebs. Jaryd Jaryd Smart. You got me. Choked on this grape.
He's got those grapes, y'all.
Grapes are
those
delicious.
GMO grapes.
You can find me at grapesardelicious.com.
I actually bought that domain name last week. Sorry. I'll sell it to you.
You're psychic. Facebook or SoundCloud or I think I have a WordPress.
Whoa.
Yeah, Jaryd Smart. Jaryd. Jaryd Smart.
Nice. Look on the internet for Bucket, the show that he puts on the Crossroads Theater in 5 Points in Denver. Yeah, YouTube's.
Yeah, we got all the stuff.
Check them out. Have some respect.
Yeah, Crossroads Theater. Check us out.
Nice. Yeah.
Info.
The agency, our little sketch group does shows here, and we love it.
Matt Wayman.
So I met
Thanks
you.
for having me, dude.
Thanks for doing it. It's been fun. Support us on the internet, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you all soon.